Hello and welcome to Denslet, a channel for intelligent and curious people like you who are searching for human sexuality in the age of artificial intelligence. And I usually uh, make these videos for educational purposes and would like to teach AI, robotics, and popular science in a different way. And there is, of course, fun, sense of humor, and you all the people, smart and curious people, you are all adult people. So I hope you will keep sense of humor above all right. Then let's come back to our topic today. Why, as we grow old, we have less physically intimate acts? Why does it happen? You can explain it in many ways, right? There are different types of explanations available, but I would like to see this problem and try to explain it from a mathematician's point of view. There is something called Bernhard Riemann Hypothesis. It's a very old mathematical puzzle. It's a kind of puzzle about prime numbers. And our prime ages were our when we were young, when we have more physically intimate acts. But as we grow old, it becomes less and less and less. Now, prime numbers with our prime time, if you equate prime number is what? First, let us try to understand what is prime number. Prime number is a number which is only divisible by 1 and by that number only. Okay? So, think about 3. It's a prime number. Why? Because you can divide 3 only by 1 and only by 3. Think about another number 7. You can only divide 7 by only by 1 and only by 7. I hope it makes sense. 4 is not a prime number because you can divide 4 by 1, by 2, and by 4. So when this number, the number of divisible numbers become more and more and more, it is not no longer it belongs to the prime number category. So there are lot of prime numbers, but as we grow high and high and high, I mean the length of the number as it increases, the prime numbers surprisingly reduces the number of prime numbers. Okay, and it's a kind of a logo bricks for regular numbers because all the other numbers which are not prime numbers are regular numbers. Now, why the prime numbers when we grow up we go up, it becomes less. Just like when we go up in our age, we have less physically intimate acts. I want to mix these two conjecture in one place and try to understand the topic in a different way. I again repeat, before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks. It gives me a lot of strength. And finally, although I talk about human sexuality, in some cases, of course, sex robots or other funny sexual behaviors of humans, there is no vulgarity in this channel. And I don't promote any kind of vulgarity through this channel. Okay? So, sense of humor above all. Let's start. Let's make a gist of it. Okay? We know prime numbers get rarer as you go up in value. And you have less physically intimate acts when you go up in age. So there is a similarity. There is a pattern which is which match with one another. There is no clear pattern, of course. It's not a very clear pattern. Why they are spaced out? I mean, when you go up in value, why prime numbers are less and less and less, and the same thing happens when you grow old. Why you have less physical intimate act, less. Why they are spaced out? Okay. The mathematicians found a special function called the Riemann Zeta Function. Think of it as a fancy equation, right? That seems to be connected to how often prime numbers appear. Okay, and how often you have physically intimate act, there must be, that can also be expressed in a as a fancy equation. Of course, why not? Maybe people have not thought about it, but it can be done, isn't it? Bernhard Riemann, a mathematician, noticed that this function behaves strangely at certain points. Like, he predicted that all these strange points fall on a specific line. This prediction is the Riemann hypothesis. What is that? Imagine a number line where 0 in the middle. Now here in this part all the negative numbers, here in this part all the positive numbers, right? Now Riemann hypothesis says all the weird points of the function line up perfectly on the line where the x value, that means the real part, is exactly halfway, that means 0.5. It's a little bit tricky. Of course, if you are not a mathematician, it will be a little bit tricky to understand the concept. But solving the Riemann hypothesis would be a major breakthrough because it would help us understand prime numbers much better. It would help us why we have less sex when we grow old at the same time. And it will have big implications for other areas of mathematics and, of course, sexuality. However, mathematicians have been trying to prove it for over 150 years, and it remains one of the most famous unsolved problems in mathematics. And for me, it is also one of the most famous unsolved problems in the history of human species, why we have less sex, less sexual activities as you grow old. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Take care and stay safe.